First and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. It's the brother Alazar Ben Lawyer, a.k.a. the Guerrilla Hebrew. And today what I want to address is the current situation that we're facing as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this country. In the wake of incidents like what just happened with the sister Sandra Bland, what happened in the past with brothers like Eric Garner. You even had last year something called the Houdini handcuff suicide that was taking place. What we have going on is nothing new, okay? This has been going on since we've got here to the shores of North America. And even prior to that, when the European first set foot on the shores of North America, because you had millions of so-called indigenous peoples of North, Central, and South America that were living here prior to any of this occurring. And as soon as a white man came, all he brought was death, okay? That's why he is the devil, because all he brings is evil anywhere he goes, all right? Now, I was recently watching a news article that was talking about a new unit that's being formed in New York that is specifically designed to investigate incidents that happen when people who are in police custody die. So this led me to look up the etymology of the term custody. Okay, and when you take a look at the etymology of the term custody, what you will find out is it goes back to a Latin word custodia, which means guarding, watching, or keeping, which goes back further to a Latin word custos, which means guardian, keeper, protector. So when we are in police custody, we are supposed to be guarded. We are supposed to be watched. We are supposed to be kept. We are supposed to be protected. But that is the furthest thing from what we experience when we are in the custody of these various police agencies. Why is this? Okay, because we are political prisoners, all right? That's what we are. A political prisoner is somebody who is in prison because they opposed or criticized the government responsible for imprisoning them, all right? Now, here's the thing. The way this government was set up, when it was erected, and the system that is a byproduct of it, of white supremacy that keeps us held down, this system in and of itself and this government in and of itself was created to oppose us. So of course we're opposed to this government in this system. So of course, anytime that we're in prison by this system, we are political prisoners. And not even being in prison, us being here in it of itself as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. We are prisoners even when we so-called walking about free. So this brings me to an incident that occurred in 1792 in Paris, France. Okay? And the people who participated in this massacre that occurred were called Septembrists. All right, and what Septembrists did was go to political prisoners that they had captive on September 2nd, 1792, and they massacred these people for 3 days. They assassinated them while in custody. And that is what is occurring to our people. That's what just occurred to the sister Sandra Bland. That's what occurred to the brothers that fell victim to the so-called Houdini handcuff suicides. Okay, those of you that aren't familiar with the Houdini handcuff suicides, the Houdini handcuff suicides were 3 separate incidences that occurred in 3 separate states, okay, that happened to young Black and Hispanic men, okay? And when this happened, somehow they got past the search and got a pistol past the search, and somehow with their hands cuffed behind their backs managed to shoot themselves in the chest with guns that somehow slipped past police detection. This is all bullshit. I'm just going to come straight. That's what it is. All right. And we are not guarded or protected or kept whole when we are in the custody of these pigs that some people dignify with the title of police. They call themselves peace officers. Yet when we encounter them, we get the exact opposite of peace. We get violence. We get death. We get murdered. We get abused. So all these cracker cops is Septembrists. All we are as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in this country are the political prisoners that are being massacred by these Septembrists. For those of you who don't know and don't check the statistics, a Native American man is more likely to die in a police confrontation than any other racial demographic in this country. And Hispanic and Black follow right behind him. But it's been more Hispanics that's been getting killed in police altercations than even Blacks. But all of us together collectively are the children of Israel, the people of the Holy Bible, God's chosen. And all of this is a part of biblical prophecy. So what we need to do is wake up and smell the coffee and understand the climate that we're in. Understand the war that's being waged against our people. Come back to the law, statute, commandments of the Most High God and properly combat the enemy. But with all that being said, I now have a question for white America. My question for white America is, If a police officer feels like his life is in danger or his physical health is being threatened, does he have the right to use lethal force in order to neutralize the threat to the extent of even killing the threat? The general answer is, of course, going to be yes. This is why guys like Darren Wilson were defended and George Zimmerman were defended by so many crackers, because they believed that they were well within their constitutional rights in defending themselves and neutralizing a potential threat in the form of a black man. Now, my question is, as U.S. citizens, do we not also have the right to the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms and defend ourselves against any and all opposition, whether it be foreign or domestic? So as a black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, or even woman, because as we see, women are not exempt from this. Our black and Hispanic women are also getting abused and murdered by these police officers. So as a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, do we not also have that right? Now, if we have that right, then shouldn't we be able to, any time a police officer approaches us, use lethal force to neutralize him as a potential threat? Because at the rate that we are being murdered and abused by police officers, it clearly shows that any altercation that we have with police is potentially putting our life in danger. So we should be able and be permitted to utilize the same right that they utilize in neutralizing us to neutralize them. By that logic, by the quote-unquote Constitution that everybody claims to love and uphold so much, we should have that right. We should be able to do that without fear of persecution. But are we going to be able to do that? No. Because, of course, we're not actual U.S. citizens according to the Constitution. We're 3/5 of a man. But that's something that they don't want to talk about. That's a fact that they always constantly want to ignore. This whole United States of America is nothing but a prison camp for the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. And we have to realize that. We have to cease from having this ideology that we're going to join up and be equal to and be cool with and buddy gung-ho with the goddamn devil that enslaved us. That's the exact type of ideology that got them people in the AME church down in South Carolina murdered by Dylan Storm Roof. How you going to let the devil into a Bible study? What sense does that make? It's the book of Luke, the 4th chapter and the 18th verse. It's who the world calls Christ, quoting the book of Isaiah. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. So the gospel means good news, and the poor are the people who are impoverished. The top 3 impoverished demographics in the United States of America are black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, in that order. I will continue. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted. And you see these black mothers crying. Their kids is dead in the street. We brokenhearted. To preach deliverance to the captives. And we are the captives, the political prisoners. And not only just the political prisoners, we fill up these jailhouses as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And recovering of sight to the blind. We are blind to who we are. We are blind to who God is. We have lost the fact and the sight that we are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And the Most High God, Yahweh, is a black man, and he chose us and is only promising salvation to us. And is sending his only begotten son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai, also a black man, to come and deliver us, to set at liberty them that are bruised. That's what Yahweh Shai said. That's what he's coming to do, to set them that are bruised at liberty. The political prisoners of this place, the political prisoners of the devil, the so-called white man. It tells you in the book of Revelations 2:10 that the devil is who casts us into prison. Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So according to the laws that the Most High God, not the laws this white man has invented, the laws of God, the transatlantic slave trade, the debt that the white man has to pay is with his life, because he has stolen us from the shores of West Africa. And he put us in slavery here and he sold us. So it says, if he stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, which we are still in this white man's hand. That's why we still here in America. The Bible says he shall surely be put to death. It's the book of Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. So when you shed blood in a land, it defiles that land, it corrupts that land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So we know that black, Hispanic, and Native Indian blood has been shed by the gallon all throughout North, Central, and South America. So what is the answer? What is going to make that right? The blood of him that shed that blood being shed, and him that shed that blood is the white man. So according to the Bible, the white man's blood needs to be shed. According to the Bible, the white man needs to be put to death for stealing and selling the so-called black and Hispanic man. See, y'all ain't reading the Bible. That's why them people in the AME church let that crack in. So what these white people are, what these police officers are, what these gung-ho Second Amendment George Zimmermans are Septemberists, people who murder political prisoners. But what we need to do is establish a viable resistance. We need to be like Black September. Y'all know what happened at the Munich Games. If you don't, Google it. Y'all seen Black September. So on a spiritual and intellectual level, we need to combat this white supremacy. And we need to be Black Septemberists to combat the Septemberists. So with that, again, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And I want to say Shalom.